We've got a one-point game. Nick Chubb, touchdown Texans. They're on top. Baker Mayfield gets the big first down. The Buccaneers alive, and it's 2nd and goal with 9 seconds left.
With the game on the line and them needing to play, he just carries them right into the end zone.
What a game. Bucs 2-0, they win it.
Welcome to Vegas. Touchdown, Chargers.
Everyone likes to see number 10 go to work.
And the Chargers, all smiles. 20-9 is the final score here at Allegiant Stadium.
The Chargers are a team to deal with in the AFC West and in the AFC.
Oh, what happened when we get the
Oh, man, we're starting off hot here. Welcome to NFL Live. First Monday Night Football doubleheader of the season is in the books. We're going to start with the first game of the night, Bucs at Texans. Baker Mayfield getting ready to go, taking on the Texans. And
Big tape.
He was. Early second quarter, Bucs down 10-7. Mayfield hits Emeka Egbuka on the screen. He takes it to the house.
Yeah, really good job play call-wise. You're anticipating pressure there. Egbuka to the field. Good blocks out front. Touchdown Tampa Bay.
Turned into a bit of a defensive battle. Then early fourth quarter, C.J. Stroud trying to get it to Nico Collins. The goal line stand here for the Texans defense. The Bucs defense. Texans still needed 1 yard, 4th and goal. Stroud tries again. What happened here, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, this is really good coverage by McCollum underneath. And so you're trying to place the perfect ball with trajectory and location. It's basically impossible. Really good coverage by the Bucs defense.
Tough to miss that opportunity, but they continue to try to run the ball. It wasn't working until this. Nick Chubb carrying it all the way in for the score.
Yeah, this is something that they struggled offensively, running the football. The right side collapses there. That was big. This is the play of the night. 4th and 10. Defensively, Marcus, you get a free rusher. It's like we win the rep. Baker just makes a great instinctual play.
He was struggling, too, with some pain on the sideline in his right foot, and yet was still able to pull that off. There's Rachaad White punching it in. The Bucs win another thriller, 20-19. Here's Baker after.
These 2-minute close games, we were not on the right side of things for the past couple of years, and it's good to see that we haven't even played close to our best ball in all 3 phases, and we're still finding ways to win on the road, and that's really important, is to not lose sight of that. We're finding ways to win, but also we do need to get things fixed. Some of these games can make it easier on ourselves and try and put teams away earlier, but this is a good team that we played, so we expected a hard-fought battle.
Get it.
Hey, all right, welcome to NFL Live. And Marcus Spears, Dan Orlovsky is here. Mina Kimes is with us as well. The wave has happened. That means we can officially start the show. I don't know what else happened before that, but it doesn't matter.
I love you.
I know. Oh, we do love you, MK. Dan's still waiting on his notes. All right, Dan, what impressed you most about what you're seeing from Baker and this Tampa Bay offense?
Yeah, I think this offense with Baker Mayfield, it feels a lot like some of the stuff we've talked about with Jalen Hurts. It's like coordinator proof. This is the 3rd coordinator in 3 years. Josh Grizzard is the new offensive coordinator. I love the fact that they just haven't lost their identity. The things that we loved under Dave Canales and Liam Cohen was, how are you going to use Mike Evans? Move him around, sometimes solo, sometimes in the slot. They've done that. The 2-back sets that Liam Cohen made so popular last year, they've consistently done that with Bucky Irving and White. I love the fact that they haven't lost their creative counters of different ways to wrap people or trap people with their run game, making sure that the wide receivers are continuously a part of that and or their tight ends. And then the perimeter screen game, again, something that was so prominent in their offense last year. And so we, in this league, we see coordinators change all the time. And identities of offenses get dropped off and players and their production falls off because of it. I love the fact that in 3 years, this offense has not changed for the bad, only continued to evolve. And credit to Baker Mayfield. He continues to play at a high level where a lot of quarterbacks would have that built-in excuse of, third offense in 3 years, that's why I'm not playing so well.
Yeah, I mean, he made big plays in key moments when it counted in this one, but I got to talk about that 2-headed monster they've got at the running back position. I thought Rachaad White and Bucky Irving were so impressive in this game, especially when you consider the strength of the competition that they were going against and also the injuries that they have on that offensive line, tackle position. They didn't lose a step. 63% success rate between the two of them on the ground. To put that in context, anything over 45% is good. 63% does not happen. It certainly does not happen against teams like this. You saw what you saw last year. They both run with such great vision behind, especially on those gap runs, duo, counter, to ice away the game. They're just fantastic. I really feel that is the identity of this offense, is these two backs as strong as they are at receiver. And to see them play against this competition, well, candidly, it was kind of the biggest difference between these two teams because they took some of the stress off of the quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's such a big deal that both of them can be pass catchers for 5 yards and it gets you 2nd and 5.
Yeah.
Offenses in the NFL need more of those types of players.
Y'all know what I loved about yesterday. Y'all been with me long enough to know what I loved about yesterday. In Tampa. Bruh, because what it does is not only does it create those opportunities for Baker Mayfield, but it also forces a defense coordinator to think that he got to bring bodies up. And then you talked about the scramble on the 4th and 10. That was a product of everybody being close to the line of scrimmage and thinking that that was going to get home and Baker being able to maneuver and get out of there. But when you look at the ability for them to hand the football off with Bucky Irvin and then get into this play action, get into Baker Mayfield being able to push the ball down the field. Egbuka is benefiting from it. Mike Evans has benefited from it as well. And I think a lot of times when you look, so I got nervous at the end of the game with the 9 seconds left before they handed the ball off. I was like, they should have used one of them timeouts and left a little bit more time. But they already knew the plan. We're going to get White up into the line of scrimmage and score the football on the ground, which I think says a lot about how they feel, not only about this offensive line, but how well they did that the entire game. And remember, they doing this without Tristan Wirfs right now.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good discipline play calling wise though.
100%.
You know, like
100%.
Mike Evans, Egbuka, let's throw it.
Let's go with what's been working.
It's interesting because you mentioned Josh Grizzard, their new play caller. Baker's had 8 different play callers in his 8 years in the NFL. Like, it's crazy.
It's
if
similar
you think
to
about
Jalen.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that point by you. But Baker, talking to him after the game, he said there's still so many kinks that they're working out. They call him Grizz, the play caller, offensive coordinator. So think about how much better it can be when they get Tristan Wirfs back, and also Chris Godwin practiced this week. So they'll continue to get even more improvement.
Was Dan. Played for so many teams.
It's true. But some news on the Bucs.
2 for 2
from Jeremy Fowler. This is
base
big. Bucs right tackle Luke Gedeke avoided major injury Monday night, but is expected to miss some time, possibly multiple weeks. Per some sources, the belief is that Gedeke did re-aggravate a foot injury. When this happened in the game, they almost immediately ruled him out, so you could tell how serious they were taking it. All right, let's get to the second half of the doubleheader. This was the game that Dan was on the call for. Great job, by the way, Dan.
Sure was.
Chargers at Raiders on Monday night. That means Dan took the red-eye back from Vegas, but he's still doing his thing. All right. First play after the opening kickoff. Geno Smith's pass is tipped, intercepted by Deion Henley.
Yeah, you know, this is the epitome of this defense. They have such good vision on the quarterback and hunt the football, and then this is the story through 2 games with their offense. Justin Herbert's ability to create plays, extend plays, and then Keenan Allen back in the end zone.
Ooh, do the dance. Chargers lead 10-3. Under 2 minutes left in the half, Herbert right here going back and finding a wide open Quentin Johnston. He takes it in. That's big, Dan, because you know Johnson at times has struggled.
Yeah, and they've talked about how he's just so obsessed with trying to get better. One day at a time trying to get better. It's absolutely paying off with some of the big plays downfield.
Late fourth quarter, Raiders in the red zone here. Smith throwing it to the end zone. It's picked, though.
Defensive player of the year type of
Derwin
candidate.
James. It's
Derwin
insane.
Peaks right at the perfect time, gets his hand in there, and basically ends the football game.
So Justin Herbert finished 7 of 9 for 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, and play action passes in last night's victory through 2 weeks. He's been nearly flawless following a play fake, completing 80% of those throws for 304 yards. Wow. Mina, there's been a lot of talk about how improved Justin Herbert and this Chargers offense has been, but what about the Chargers defense has impressed you the most?
This is one of the most stifling performances from a defense I've seen in quite some time. Dan, I know you saw this from the bird's eye view during the game. On tape, it looked like they were running the Raiders' routes for them for much of the game. Yeah. 15 passes defense. Through 2 games, this Chargers defense, is forcing quarterbacks to throw an average at the target of 3.2 yards. They are so well coached under Jesse Minter, but to play this style, which is to say split safety, put a roof on it, light boxes, you have to have elite safety play and elite linebacker play, and that is what they're getting. Derwin James deserves all of his flowers, but I thought Aloha Gilman, fantastic. Deion Henley is an absolute superstar in the making at linebacker. The spine of this defense I would put up there with any in the NFL right now, and they are so unbelievably well coached.
Yeah, so 2 things. Derwin, in talks with him leading into the game, said, 1, it's the most prepared defense he's ever played for under Jesse Minter. And the fact that Jesse Minter calms that defense so much because he's always figuring out what's the answer for the next question from the offense. I think the word stifling is perfect, Mina. I'd also say suffocating. And the odd thing is, it's a zone defense. And there's two really different kinds of zone defenses. One zone defense means that the defender gets to a certain spot, and they're just covering that spot, and they have eyes on the quarterback. They play a little bit of a zone defense that I would say they're playing concepts rather than coverage, meaning, and that's why Mina's talking about it looks like they ran the routes for him. They don't really drop the spots. They match routes. They match concepts. And so you as a quarterback, you're sitting there going, there's no one open. Like there should be somebody open because I'm quote unquote flooding the zone, but they're flooding the zone as well. And I think that's what makes it so difficult, and it forces patience, and it's impossible to be patient because at some point you're going to make a mistake.
They're doing a good job up front as well, man.
Yeah.
Their front is awesome.
Yeah.
We know the Raiders' offense, Marcus, did not perform well, but there are some weaknesses you noticed in the Raiders' defense.
I don't have much to say. I just don't know what the hell this was, okay? The 60-yard touchdown that Justin Herbert threw on the 2nd and 3, why in the hell are we rushing 3? For the life of me, I can't understand. If you watch Justin Herbert week 1 and you carry this over into the game, and then you rush 3, but you give up a 60-yard pass. Now, in my history of the NFL, the reason why we have more people in coverage is to keep everything in front of us. It's to force you to throw a short pass. Again, I don't know why on 2nd and 3 that's the type of defense you're playing, but it was either a lack of communication, the linebacker called the wrong defense or something. But these are, and I want to say this, because why are you making a big deal out of this? These are the plays that happen in games where you actually have a chance. The Raiders were never out of this game.
I mean, Max was
hunting. One of the skin. Or him and Derwin were probably the two best players on the field last night outside of Justin. But these are the things that I like to point out sometimes, especially y'all know me how I feel about defense and how you should be sound and playing the game a certain way. And I thought that this defense was put in a bad situation in that particular play more than anything, especially against an offense that's as hot as the Los Angeles Chargers are right now. But those things lead to losing, and I wanted to point it out.
I'm glad you did.
The Chargers are a complete team. They're really good.
Well, Dan, the Chargers and the Packers are the only teams to not trail at any point this season. We're 2 games in. That's pretty impressive.